having the role of being a leader.
Yeah.
You want to lead.
Yeah.
It's just that when you lead, you want your people to go with you.
Yeah, you don't
Not in a way
resist it.
where it's like when we get there, the person says, "Hi, Marami, I don't want to come here to begin with. Why did you?
Yeah.
You see, like."
So every moment demands a kind of man from us, you know.
Sure.
So you're not gonna be the same husband or the same father in every moment, in every season.
Sure.
Men need to be aware of that. If you're not sensitive to that moment, you're gonna mess up or miss it.
Couples should be on board from the beginning,
I'm
on the
with you.
same wavelength in
Yeah.
terms of what does money mean to us.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband podcast with me, Blaque Nubon. Here we are husbands who aren't where we want to be, but certainly are not where we used to be. We are imperfect, always failing forward, trying to know better so that we can do better.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband podcast with me, Blaque Nubon. This is where husbands try to know better so that we can do better. Before we get into this episode, we want to thank you for supporting us. If you're joining us for the very first time, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're updated on every single episode we drop every Wednesday at 11:30. If you are not new and you have been supporting us, thank you. If you're wondering how you can support us, well, there's two ways. One, you can click on the link in the comment section and buy us coffee. If you're wondering what that's about, man, click on that link and you'll see how many coffees you want to buy us, as many as your heart desires, so that we are energized to keep on making more of this content. The second way you can support us is by booking me as a speaker or an MC for your next event. That's at booking@blaquenubon.com. That's booking@blaquenubon.com. The husband that's sitting across the table from me today, I'm going to call him by his full name, Linde
Damn.
Sibanda.
Sounds wrong.
What's up, bro?
Oh, yeah, bro.
You good, man?
I'm good, bro.
When last did anyone call you by your full name?
My
bro?
mother, probably like 2 weeks ago.
Were you in trouble?
Nah. Sometimes she just says it just to wake me up.
Yeah. That's dope, bro. Now, thanks for pulling through, man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
This is great, brother. The last time we sat, you were what? Like just over a year of marriage.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore.
Because you're 3 years now.
I just said I don't think I know anymore. I stopped counting, bro. I stopped counting, bro. What we count is birthdays. Those ones we can remember. This one, bro.
Yeah.
Because, like there's home affair signing and then there's the wedding day.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So you don't know which one
You don't know
is
which
and then
one
there
to
was the
take.
traditional
Yeah.
wedding in between.
Probably even mix them up, bro. I don't know. But yeah, it's been more than 2 years.
Yes.
It's been more than 2 years, definitely.
That we know. Yeah, that's dope. You're like, I'm not leaving. I don't need to be
You don't
counting.
need to count anything.
I'm here.
Every day is anniversary.
Yeah.
Or not.
That's dope, bro. Hey.
Or not.
That's dope, bro. Man, before we jump into the chat, so we compiling a book to give to husbands. Dudes who are walking alone, no benefit of a brotherhood.
Sure.
So I think, and similar to you, you probably enjoy a community where there's husbands that you can ask questions to at any point,
Definitely.
But there's dudes who just don't have that,
Sure.
And then there's other guys who are single who hate marriage because
For
they've
no
had
reason.
bad examples, man.
Yeah.
Right?
No, like when were you married? I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I know a guy.
I know my uncle. So you're like, man, let's try and give them a resource to encourage them.
Sure.
And so we ask our guests to help us define what a husband is.
Ooh.
So in your own terms, own experience, maybe you've written a book about what a husband is.
Oh, wow,
How would you answer
man.
that question? What is a husband?
What is a good husband?
Yeah.
I think I can only go the simple way. I think
Yeah.
a godly man is a good husband.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think the example of how to be a good husband would probably be from the Bible,
Sure.
like the characteristics mentioned, and
Sure.
because it's just like there's so much gems and pearls,
Mm.
so much building blocks
Mm.
to what a good man or a good husband would become.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you look at Proverbs, for instance, like
Sure.
just the wisdom laid out there.
Yeah.
There's like even now, you're a pastor. I'm sure you read Proverbs and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like how does it lay out things?
Sure.
I think that's what a good husband is. And it's also like you'd see that in other people.
Yep.
So you'd also see those characteristics in people. And you're like, this is not a characteristic that this person has in and of themselves.
Sure.
It has to stem from somewhere.
Yeah.
Sort of like God is the only one who can like filter that down to people, and then you see that. And also like I can say for myself, seeing my dad as a husband and as a father helped me contextualize a lot of things.
Sure.
So it's like certain things growing up, I never saw my dad like beating my mom or like shouting at my mom or whatever. So that behavior is foreign to me. Yeah. And also it's foreign to them. So if somebody comes and says, hey, we've got footage of this guy shouting at his wife like this, they're going to be like, we didn't teach this brew that thing. Yeah, sure. Like, it's his own thing. You see? So, I think that. And seeing it in other people as well. It's so nice to recognize that like, this is God moving in other people and seeing them act. And so I think that's the biggest example. And also because it's like a godly example, it would be like even when like my dad or whoever lets me down or does something that's contrary to what God defines as a good husband or whatever, I can see that it's contrary.
Sure.
Because my dad's not the standard. Sure. God is. So it's like it's a nice unshakable standard. Which is great, and it's one that we can all fall short from, and it's like it's fine. Yeah. You're supposed to, but it's a standard that we're living up to.
Yeah, that's great, bro. I think it is hard when anybody doesn't have a standard. You know, like like what are you living from? Like what are you weighing yourself against? You know, because then you're just a fish. Dead fish in water,
and you become your own God essentially as well. Like the standard shift.
Yeah. Depending on how I feel.
Depending on how you feel, right? You can always justify yourself. You can always do that.
How long have your parents been married now?
98. Since 98.
Okay.
So that would be 26.
26, yeah.
That's 27 this year.
Yeah, sure. That's dope, bro.
Yeah, it is, bro. Actually, it's dope, very, very dope. Like, I think for any faults they had, like they really did try their best to mirror like a good marriage. Yeah. Which is it's I think it's vital.
Sure.
It's super vital.
Did they play any role in encouraging you to, and you know, actively or passively encouraging you to get married?
No. Okay. Not really. Like
you looked at your dad, you're like, so
yeah. No, I'm saying, well, obviously in terms of seeing them, yes. Like I did desire that for myself. And I always thought I'd get married early.
Sure.
Yeah. I was one of those guys. I thought to myself, listen, I really hope by 30 I've clocked out.
Yeah.
Of this thing, this rigmarole that everyone's part of.
Streets of dirty.
This is when I was young already, like 14, 15.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. And then it got solidified more when I got into my 20s. I was like, please.
Yeah.
Like, also, like, you just feel like the longer you're out there, the more you believe that this is it. Yeah. Like, I should be out there on the field. I'm a soldier. I'm a street soldier. And I was like, nah, man. Jeez. But they didn't play a role in terms of telling me or saying you should get married at this point. Yeah. It was never that. But in terms of me aspiring to, they did.
Yeah, you saw that. Okay, so it was more of a passive thing.
Yeah.
It's just dope, man. And I think a lot of dudes, majority of us don't have that, you know. I was chatting to a friend of mine and he's a public health specialist, and he was saying, was it 7 out of 10 boys, black boys, don't have a father that's present. And I think, was it a large majority of that 7? They don't even know if their dad is anywhere alive. Yeah, they don't even know, bro. Right?
Oh man.
And so I'm like, when you think of that, then you're like, obviously, like a bunch of dudes won't grow up aspiring for marriage. They won't grow up because the only relationships they've seen is movies. It's what they hear in songs. you know, or just dating around, seeing other dudes do stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm like, it is quite for me, a profound thing when I hear just guys like yours experience, you know, I'm like, man, that's like super dope, you know.
Nah, bro,
such a great thing.
I hear you completely, because in the world I'm in stand-up comedy and whatever, people are like very vulnerable on stage.
Sure.
And the amount of people I hear in general without like fathers or not a present father, or somebody who you describe as a bad father or whatever.
Sure.
It's alarming at times, bro.
Yeah.
And at times I feel like, you know, when you want to feel like you want to like relate, but you can't, and you feel bad for not being able to say, or like putting your head up, be like, my dad's cool, actually, bro. Like, I'm sorry, you know, you feel bad, bro.
Can't relate, bro.
Yeah, you feel so bad, because it's sort of like, I can't relate, right? But I can relate on, especially, let's say, as a black man.
Yes.
I can relate on the societal pressure that exists.
Sure.
Because I don't know, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just some of us, where it doesn't matter how great of an environment you grow up in. At times, there's just this underbelly voice that's there the whole time saying, you're nothing. You're what this world says you are. You're a criminal. Or
failure.
You're a failure.
Dropout.
You see dropout. So many things where it's sort of like, some of these things don't even come from home. It's just this big like voice that's always talking. So it's like that I can relate to. Now imagine, then I say to myself, imagine I've got a dad who I can look at and be like, well, nah, dog, this guy's cool. So that voice can't be that prominent and can't be that real. Now when you don't have that, that voice ends up being more prominent than anything.
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. The same vein, you've become a dad.
Yeah.
From the last time we chatted, was Eden born?
Yeah, he had to have been, bro.
Yeah.
He had to have been.
Because he's like, what, 2 now?
Yeah, he's 2, like next month he's 2.
Shucks.
It's wild.
Yo. You've kept a human alive for 2 years, bro.
Michelle's kept a human alive for 2 years. I've just
more accurate. Sorry, Michelle. Sorry.
I've just been there holding her head like, you're doing a very good job.
Well done, bro.
Well done. I picked the right person to mother my child.
Keep on going. Do you want water? What do you want?
What do you want? Anything you want, bro. Yeah, 2 years, bro. It's wild.
That's dope, bro. I wanted to transition to that, and here you can, you know, go as deep as you want, or shallow as you want. Because when we had our last chat, man, the fascinating thing about your story was that you had quit a corporate job. So that you can pursue stand-up.
Yeah.
In the midst of that, you get married.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, which right human would ever do that? You know, most of us finish school, go get the corporate job, then get married, and then have kids. You're like, finish school, corporate job. This sucks. In the midst of that, let me get married and try and be a funny guy. Right? Yeah, so that happened.
Yeah.
And now having a kid, man, throws a different dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, before we started shooting, you had just spoken about, you know, just the time when your son was not doing well.
Yeah.
And just how that kind of made you think differently about your dreams, etc., etc. Again, you can be as deep as you want, shallow as you want, just to respect your privacy. But like, the thing I'm trying to get at is like, how does having a kid shake your core that you don't want to drop your dream, but you have to sober up in saying, man, I think pursuing this dream is going to look different now that I have a kid, you know? How do you have that conversation with yourself? How do you have that conversation with Michelle?
Yeah.
You know, because I know both of you, one of the things that like really inspires us as onlookers of your marriage is you are just like, man, we love Jesus. We love each other. We want to support each other in what we want to do. And we're just going to go. Right?
Yeah.
Where most people are like, no, chief, we need stuff, whatever stability is, right? So how has having a kid, man, like shaped your dynamic in dreaming and still pursuing the thing, man, but being responsible, all of that, man,
Bro, it's difficult. Like I said, I mean, pre-Michelle, I obviously did comedy.
Yeah.
And then I was doing it full time.
Yeah.
And then COVID happens.
Sure.
and then you have to restructure your dream again, corporate, and then get married, quit again, and then all this stuff. Then we have the kid, bro. And here's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
In the time we get Eden, Michelle is on maternity leave, obviously, and she's not getting her salary at the same,
Sure.
But the thing that's actually paying for everything is comedy.
Sure.
Somehow God is bringing along all these gigs.
Sure.
And people, like I was working a bit with an advertising agency. Excuse me. And all this stuff. So God is actually providing in that time through comedy, which is great. And then obviously we have Eden. And then, he suffers a seizure and scariest thing ever, like I was telling you. And long story short, in terms of that shaking me to my core, then it was like, he's got this portion of life now that he's living, and it's such a fragile time.
Sure.
Right? And
sure,
we need finances to be able to carry us through this time.
Sure.
Because if medical aid savings is done at that point, and stand-up comedy is great, I'm getting money here and there, but it's not stable enough for me to feel okay.
Sure.
And feel like I'm not like subjugating my role as a father and as a provider. And it was, I think the great thing was it wasn't necessarily a push from Michelle. It wasn't anything. She was fine. She was just like, well, we'll ride through. But it was more me just being like, listen, my dream doesn't die if I go work a corporate job again.
Sure.
All it means is that my time is messed up now. So it will mean spending less time with Misha and them.
Sure.
But it does mean that we have more resources to work with.
Sure.
Especially in this portion where things are still a bit shaky in terms of having a kid. And also sort of like there's experiences I want them to have with us right now that we just will be able to experience more with resources. And I sort of prayed and I spoke to God, and I came to the decision that like, let's get a corporate job again.
Sure.
Let's rock. I'll be more tired. Way more tired. But we'll be more stable and just I think better equipped to serve him as well.
Sure.
Because I think Michelle needed that sort of leeway as well. And we all did. And the worst thing is I think, if anything, I've actually taken on more things.
Sure.
Even with a job now, like football stuff and social media and still stand up and all that stuff. And I think God is like faithful in that way, where it's sort of like he's not gonna show me where it ends up. But as long as we're with him, like things work out in a way that's like, man, like I don't think things will never not be hard.
Sure.
That's where I've landed with everything all the time. Things will never not be hard. And it's just a balance all the time. And sort of, I think the biggest thing is having a sensitivity in every moment to what each moment means. So it's sort of like, even now, I still need to be sensitive to, okay, God is not making me work on a bunch of things for nothing. So it's sort of like, if those things pop off, you need a sensitivity to know, okay, I need to zone in on this now to make sure we get the most from this. Okay, so that could mean that, we could be leaving corporate again. Like that's the conversation that me and Mish had. The sensitivity to know what's happening. And to constantly be sort of asking God and speaking to God and letting him know how I feel. And because it's I think it's just difficult when you don't have a sensitivity to that stuff. Because it is purely on vibes. And I really don't feel good right now. I'm done with everything. You know what? I'm leaving Michelle. I'm leaving Eden. I've made a decision, bro. Someone else will take care of these guys. I've got dreams to pursue. You get me? So I think the sensitivity, that's like the biggest thing I got out of this.
That's dope, bro.
Because it's sort of like, even to go back to corporate, you need the sensitivity to be like, this is the season where this needs to happen.
There's a dude, you probably seen him online, bold guy, old, big beard, white, does martial arts, but I don't know what.
Not the black guy.
The black guy.
Oh, you said white, bro.
No, he has a white beard.
Oh, yeah, I know the black guy.
Beard,
The black guy.
yeah.
He talks to the kids and he tells
Talks
them,
to the kids, yeah. Jason Wilson. I think that's his surname.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know
so he has a book called The Man the Moment Demands. So I was reminded of that because of what you're describing.
Sure.
So every moment demands a kind of man from us,
Sure.
So you're not going to be the same husband or the same father in every moment, in every season.
Sure.
So that sensitivity you're speaking about is like, men need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
That the moment is going to demand a man that's totally different. So, but if you're not sensitive to that moment, you're going to mess up or miss it. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you need to be sensitive, man, to say, where are we now? We're not crushing the dream. I don't want to crush my family, but I also don't want to die, myself. Because if I don't pursue my dream, man, you're going to have a horrible and miserable husband, right?
Exactly.
So I need to be sensitive to this moment and what it's actually demanding of me.
Yeah.
Therefore, I can, move in the right way and not just rely on vibes, So I found that thing to be super helpful, man.
That is cool.
Think about, okay, what kind of man is this moment demanding? What kind of husband, what kind of father is this moment right now demanding?
Sure.
So, but how do you then sit with Mish and talk to her? So practically, that's one thing, because I know there's a lot of guys who are like, I'm fine, forget that. Like, we're not. Like, I work for a bank. That's it. I'm not gonna try and entertain dreams here. Tell my wife.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna be shut down immediately, right?
Yeah.
So how do you practically work through that sensitivity with her?
Yeah.
So that's one. But then I wanted to kind of scale back, so you can start with that. But then the moment Eden has a seizure, what, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you on TikTok recording a video and your boy is at the back and you like,
oh man,
like, what's going on in your mind?
I'll start with the Eden one before the sensitivity.
How do you guys? What's going on in?
Bro, he was sick that day. He was sick that day. So he stayed home. He didn't go to crash.
Yeah.
And obviously these fevers, they come from crash because he's new to crash.
Yes.
It's like a cesspool of diseases.
It's a prison properly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gangland.
Those guys should be going in those bubbles. Bubble Boy, the movie. That's how they need to go there. So he essentially, he stays at home, bro. Yeah. And he's a bit off, but he's fine. He's with us. Yeah. So Mish puts him to sleep.
Sure.
And he's in his cot and whatever. And then maybe 10 or 15 minutes after she puts him to sleep, we just say, and I'm like, it can't be Eden knocking on the door. Yeah. That means he got out of his cot as well and somehow learned how to walk. And knocked on the door. So I'm like, oh no, what is that? Yeah. So I spring out of bed, man. Sure. And then Michelle's coming from the other side and we run in and he's just, and bro,
was he out of his cot?
Nah, he's inside, bro. Okay. And then it was just, and that's what's making the sound. The cot is like moving. That's how fast he's convulsing.
Sheesh.
And bro, like, it's surreal because 2 seconds feels like 10 minutes.
Oh.
That's how crazy it is. Because now I'm thinking, what do we do? Whatever.
It's crazy, bro.
Mish is like, hey, get a towel, wet it, and all this stuff, bro. And she's on Google at the same time, and we're learning, and we have to take off stuff, and bro, and it's just surreal in the moment. And when she's got the towel and she's doing, I'm just on top there.
This thing is happening the whole time, boy.
Yeah, bro. And she's just like trying to balance him. And then I'm just on top looking because now there's nothing.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What can I do now? And in that moment, I'm just thinking, God, just help. Because there's nothing we can do. This is very foreign, bro. And yeah, man, she ends up getting him to stop convulsing. We call the doctors, and then she put thingy. What do you call that thing? Thing you stick up people's bums, man. What do you call that thing? Not an enema, bro. It's what is it? It's a
it
medication.
Looks like a pill.
Yes.
I don't know what it's called.
Yes, bro. There's a
but
term.
I know that thing.
Yes, that thing put it up his bum.
Yeah.
And obviously that woke him up. And he was like, hey, what's this?
I'm violated.
Started crying, And then, we called the doctors like, nah, bring him in. And then, they did the checks just to check that he's not like a seizurous baby. Like he doesn't suffer from it normally. And then Mish had to stay with him. At the hospital, and I had to come home. It's only when I got home that when I was alone now, I was like, I clocked what fully happened.
Yeah, see, bro.
because it was just that surreal. Like clockwork fully happened, and like how not in control we were.
Sheesh.
And yeah, bro, that's what was
that's
happening.
hard, bro.
Yeah,
that's hard. I'm like, sometimes dudes hear us say we need to be present for our kids, and they think, oh, I need to play with my kid, or I need to be there to listen.
Sure.
Oh, I need to. I'm like, man, that's part of it. Like, imagine if Mish was alone.
Yeah.
Right? Would she have been able to kind of maneuver stuff? She probably would have. But man, you just being there to bring it out.
Yeah,
you being there to be like, okay, I'll call doctors while you Google or whatever the thing is, right? I'm like, man, when we speak of presence, we obviously speaking of it in a wide range of ways.
Yeah.
But physical presence, man, if you were not there, bro.
That's the crazy thing.
Sheesh, man.
You start wondering, because it's like, even after that, I probably took like a week and a half or 2 weeks off comedy. Because I was just scared that if I leave here,
if you leave, man,
what could happen, bro? Thankfully they did check, and he wasn't a seizureless baby. It was just literally from fever. So if you do have a kid, it's very possible that a fever takes them down that route, because they're not strong enough yet to just.
Sure. How old was he at that point?
A year and a bit, bro.
A bit, yeah.
Sheesh, bro. It's like, and the second thing, the sensitivity thing. How do you bring it up? I think I've just been very fortunate with Mish, that like she's very tuned in with the sort of person I am. So she knows when things are bothering me, but she also knows to give me my space. Yeah, because I'm one of those people where probably listen too much to Proverbs. I only realized after they did like the sermons on Proverbs at church that like that thing of like laying back and assessing the situation and not being quick. That is me. I know I lay back, because even emotions can be rampant. Like when something happens immediately, but when you like sit down and like soak it in, then you realize, oh, okay, I feel this because of this, but feeling this in this intensity won't help, because I can't think properly. So it's sort of like that's. So Mish knows me like that, but then she knows that, oh, okay, he's thinking right now. So by the time I do come, because she knows I'll come forward. And by the time I do come speak to her, she's very open to listen. Great, 1, 2, I think I've been fortunate that she's probably my biggest fan. So it's sort of like she's even more reluctant than me to say, hey, listen, let's stall on certain things right now. Because she believes, no, you've got this dope thing and it needs to be out there and it's that cool and whatever. So, but she knows that, like, and I know, because she's my fan, it's sort of like when I do speak to her about this, it's like, it's the most balanced conversation we can have. And also, I think what's helped so much is that she's like a very strong woman, she's very strong, independent, knows her stuff, bro. Like,
you can't be a Popeye.
You get me? She's deep. She's like, you get me? So she's like, so she knows her stuff. But the one thing that's cool is that in marriage, she's like really taken like heed of being submissive and letting me lead. So it's sort of like really trusting my discretion and decisions once she's given input, which is nice, bro, because it's like, I think the one thing about being a leader is like having the role of being a leader, you want to lead. It's just that when you lead, you want your people to go with you. Not in a way where it's like, when we get there, the person says, "Hi, Marami, I don't want to come here to begin with. Why did you? You see, like, so she doesn't give me that feeling. It is a thing of we're progressing. If we end up in a place that's messed up, it's not on anyone.
That's dope.
It's not. That's not how life works.
When did you realize that you guys have that dynamic? Obviously, informed by the scriptures, called by the Lord for you guys to play those roles. That's one thing. There's many of us who are like, I'm the head. Some will say, I submit. But in practice, in practice, it's like, jokes. What is this? When did you become aware that, smack, like, we've assumed these roles that we are called to play, and when they're working?
Sure. I think with her, I think there's been times where I don't have the leverage to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the leverage to lead, but I'm still leading.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like when we started dating, I didn't have a job at that time.
Sure.
So it's sort of like there's no income coming in.
Sure.
It's very easy for a man to feel inadequate.
Yep.
Right? It's super easy.
Yeah, sure.
Especially at that time. It's sort of like, yo, I want you to view me as your husband in the future. But right now, I don't have the resources that the world at the time deems the main resource to keep a woman.
Sure.
So it's sort of like, but at that time, a person is still, you know, lifting me up in that role and saying, do the thing. Don't feel this way. Because it's like a term in Venda that says like "Livirili ajiga," like the wheel turns in life. So it's sort of like at least like she understood that. Yeah. So it's sort of like that's where I saw, and also a person who's like independent like that, when they've realized their independence in thinking, in action, and whatever. But they're taking the forward step to be conscious of that and be like, because I'm like this, I need to relinquish even earlier to make sure
crazy, bro.
that, we don't face things like that.
Yeah.
And because I think she knows I'm extremely chilled.
Yeah.
I'm not very, I don't like doing that to people.
Sure.
I feel it's the worst thing to do to people because when people are under, that's when things go wrong. That's when they do that thing of, I don't want to come here to begin with you. You're a terrible leader, actually. You're a dictator in this house. You're living with an autocrat. You see? So I'm not like that. So the mix has been great because me not being like that would have been very easy for her to actually assume leadership. Very easy, right? And obviously, I'm not her, but I'm not a Bari.
Yes.
So it's sort of like if you do try to assume leadership, I in some way, shape, or form, I'm going to end up being like, well, you've been leading us, and this is why things have gone wrong. You weren't supposed to be leading to begin with. Actually, why do we need this relationship? So I think God's grace as well has helped us in terms of just being aware of like our dispositions as people.
Come on, bro.
So especially her. She's that super independent, like the way she's grown up. Where it's sort of like person who's had to do for themselves a lot of things, whatever. Now when I come into the fold, it's sort of like, how do you relinquish this thing and trust?
Bro.
Because I think that's where it lies behind as well. Especially for her in her childhood and stuff. She couldn't trust people to do certain things. So it's sort of like, I'll do it myself.
Oh, that's hard, man.
You see.
Yeah, that's hard. And I think a lot of wives struggle with that. You know, so they recognize the call for submission and to, you know, kind of give space for the husband to lead. But just because of experience and, you know, other narratives in the world. Inform,
big narratives in the world.
Massive.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
They make it challenging for them. To not submit. And I know there's probably somebody who's unsubscribed now because they're like, oh, you went there, right? Yeah. Listen, my wife doesn't have an issue with submission. And I think for us, and you know, we're hitting 11 years. The journey to unlocking what submission and headship look like has been that. It's been a journey, you know. It's been like some moments my wife is just like, I don't see this. Like, it's clear to me. Right? I'm like, these are the roles we're supposed to be playing. This is how we're going to play them. And then she's like, chill, bro. Like, what are you doing? I get it. And I know you meant to lead and you are leading, but it's not as black and white as you're saying, right? So then I had to realize in those moments, oh, okay, cool. So no, I am still the head of this relationship. She's still submitting, but it just looks different, you know, in practice. Most of the time. But I've seen in other times when she's like, man, I'm glad that you just a leader. Do this thing. I just need to chill here, pretend like my hands are broken. I can't do anything. You know what I mean? It's like, that's cool, right? So that's been like such a dope dance between us. Yeah, to kind of see that thing.
It's crazy. Michelle once She said to me, "Do you want me to do this thing for you?" And I was like, "Something." And I was like, "Yeah."
Sure.
But I was like, "You don't have to." I said to her, in life, if I ask you to do something for me, I am perfectly okay with you saying no.
Sure.
Especially most things where it's sort of like, I can actually do this in myself.
Yeah.
If I say to you, can you please pour me a glass of something in the fridge?
Sure.
If you say no, right?
Yeah.
Because I am like chilling at the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, if you say to me, no, you're chilling, you can actually, I'll actually stand up. I won't be like, you're crazy.
Yeah, sure.
I asked you to do the same for me. How dare you not do this? This is my house. No, I'll just stand up because I'm asking you because I want you to do it.
Yes.
Like I told her, it's just a personal belief. I don't believe most things. You don't have to.
Sure.
Like have to. Like there's guns and stuff to our head. You have to. No, you don't have to do anything. Most things, even in life, most things you ask me, you want me to do them, and I will do them because that's what you want.
Sure.
But in terms of have to, there's no have tos ever. No matter who's leading or who feels the power at the time.
Yeah.
Everyone's perfectly entitled to say no with like valid and true reason. Because I think that's where the actual balance is. Because it's like, hey man, there's nothing you have to do here. Yeah. Like no one is under hostage or anyone. If we're being honest, we wanted to get married to each other.
Yes.
We didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like you get me, you didn't have to.
You didn't have
There's
to get
no
married.
one. No one was like, listen, if you don't get married to this person, we're gonna put you in a grave today. It's like, no, there's no have to anything. So it's like, yeah, that's a bit nice because that shocked her as well.
Sure.
Because I was just like to her, nah, I believe in your agency as a person.
Yes.
And I have to always believe in your agency as a person, even when I lead you. Because I have to say, Michelle, we're going here.
Yes.
You do not have to come with me. Come with me. I would love you to come with me because you're my wife. And once you come and you willingly submit, that's great for everyone.
Things will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we went down this thing together.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that.
Yeah, I think that really speaks to the heart and the posture of how you lead. You know what I mean? So somebody could hear this and think, oh, but you have to lead. And it's like, yeah, sure, we get it. Because if you don't lead, the thing will crash.
Yeah.
If she doesn't submit, the thing will crash. But it's the posture, you know? So I'm like, I have to lead as a husband, but it's better if I want to lead, right? Because if I just think to myself, oh, no, I have to do this thing. Man, my attitude, my heart, my posture, it's going to be totally, ugly. And then I'm going to be dragging my feet. And then I'll end up being a dictator because, I have to do this thing. And if you don't submit and follow, then you're messing up this thing. And it's like, no, sure. We have to play our roles. But man, the bigger thing is having a heart posture that wants to do this. That, because desires.
Because the day that somebody clicks to not wanting to or not having to, then that's when you have the problem.
Exactly.
Because your wife will say, oh, wait, so if I tell you no, I don't die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
So let's see how long this rope is.
So then it's sort of like, how do you manage that as a leader?
Can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
Because then this person has their own agency. And I think maybe that's where the perils and hardships of marriage come.
Sure.
Because it is like, let's say divorce, it is somebody exercising their autonomy.
Sure.
You know, and it's in the worst way possible because obviously it's breaking up something that shouldn't be, but it is that, and it's the hardest thing because at that point you can't decide for someone else that no, you're not going anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, they decided.
They decided, and it's like those things are the push and pulls of marriage that
hundreds, bro.
I don't think any couple is able to like run away from that.
No. Sure.
You will have your things, and I guess also the way you deal with those things is very important. Like I think not all of us have been taught like healthy communicating mechanisms and patterns. So it's like even how we speak to each other and like having the patience to sometimes not speak now, or having the patience to listen now.
Sure.
It's those, that's what becomes so difficult. So difficult.
Yeah, it's dope, man. So I think of the wedding day, you become one with your spouse. But then the being one is exercised, in real time.
Yes.
Then you start identifying areas where we're like, okay, we are one as a married couple. But when it comes to finances, maybe we're not one, because you grew up this way, I grew up that way. I come in with my tendency, of spending. Yeah. You have your tendency of being stingy, etc., etc. So then we have to become one there.
Yeah.
But like what we're saying, if we don't want to, then that's going to be an area of contention that might potentially lead to divorce.
And those are the ones where people realize they don't have to.
Yes. Yes.
You see, because it's not like the other ones, people do perceive that they have to, but finances, because finances, it's a super tough one.
It's very personal.
It's so tough because people don't view finances the same.
Yes.
Which is crazy, because it's like, it is what this is a personal thing. Don't quote me on it and say, hey, I'm gonna show you something that shows you. No, I just believe personally, that's one of the things where I believe couples should be on board from the beginning.
Hundreds, bro.
Like on the same wavelength in terms of what does money mean to us.
Sure.
Especially Christian couples.
Sure.
Because the moment money becomes more than it is, it will become more than it is to you.
Sure.
You get me? It will take precedent over certain things when it's not supposed to. Like, it's that one's just a very, very tough one.
Yeah.
I think I've just been fortunate because I studied accounting and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I do have like an understanding of money.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like I have an understanding as far as understanding what it does to human beings.
Sure.
And how it messes up with human beings. Yeah. Where it stops becoming a resource.
Yeah.
And the moment it stops becoming a resource, you're cooked.
Now you're cooked, bro. Yeah.
You are cooked.
Now it's a tool.
It's
to dominate, and it changes you. It's crazy, bro.
It is crazy. And the worst thing is, God has made money a flowing thing.
Yes.
Money can come. It can go.
It can go.
Like you can hoard it and not enjoy it.
Sure.
That's the worst thing. You're hoarding this thing that God, and at the time God is saying, I'm giving you this money so you can enjoy it with the people around you. But you're like, I remember being poor last year. There's no way you're not taking this money.
Doing that,
You see, you know what? I want you to buy you this gift for 4,000, but I can't because, and it's like, at that time you think about it and you're like, because even men, right? I've spoken to a few men about this who recently got married as well. And it made me laugh because I was like to them, do you realize that most of the money you make, especially after you have a kid as well, it's not yours, man.
It's done, bro.
It's not yours. What needs do you have? Like, needs.
Let's talk. Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Because you could be stingy. Say I'm stingy.
Yeah.
Right? Say I have certain things that I like. It's fine. Right? Sure. But needs. Yeah. Let's be honest, bro. Because it's like, no, for real, bro. Like most things, it's just sort of like, for me, I would lie to you. After I got my PlayStation, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll run out of things that I need.
Yeah, what do I actually need now?
What I actually need or what? Yeah. So it's sort of like, as a man, it's a weird thing. Sure. And it's like, it's something that maybe men in like the media and like even other men are trying to influence men to be like, and it's not like frugal with money.
Sure.
It's influencing you to be stingy.
Yeah.
It's influencing you to be stingy and just like thinking that every single vessel on here is here for your money. And it's like, that can be well and true because there are instances like that. It's true. Yeah. People are very manipulative to get what they want.
Sure.
But your family,
hey, bro,
are you sick? Why would your family be manipulative to get? That's your family. Who's supposed to be getting the money? Who's supposed to be getting the money? That doesn't make sense. And it's sort of like, obviously, materialism is a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, let's say as a man, you have to guard against being stingy.
Yep.
As a woman, you'd have to guard against materialism.
Yep. Sure.
And sort of like we both have warnings to guard from.
Yes.
And that's where it should spring from. But this thing of people like, they're going to know me, I'm not going to. It's like,
Yeah, relax.
Like, relax, bro. This is your family, dog. Take them to Cape Town, dog. What's wrong with you, bro?
Your kid just wants McDonald's, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like,
what are you gonna do with that $65? Let's talk.
Come on, bro. That thing I don't get. Bro. That thing
crazy.
I don't get, bro.
Oh, that's funny, man. You had a bit on your Instagram where you said in January, the most active shop is cash converters.
Oh, cash converters. Oh, bro.
Beans and Bonds, the second edition. If you missed the first one, I could tell you why. You just didn't book on time, right? I am here to tell you that the booking link is right now open. Book a seat for you, your spouse, your friends, your neighbor, and anybody else that you want to bring to Beans and Bonds. When is it happening? The 29th of March. One, I'm going to be there. Secondly, we're going to have Uni Simon, who's performing for us, and then our guest of honor, my brother, my man, my homie, my mentor, Jabu Zwane. He's going to be there. It's going to be incredible. If you've seen the episode that we did with him, it was super, super dope. Man, you know that he's going to pull through with some gems, some crazy wisdom, and really, really dope insight to help us in our relationships, in our marriages, and particularly for us who are husbands. How do we stay encouraged and champion the institute of marriage? Right? Some of you have been asking, who is Beans and Bonds for? Is it just for husbands? No, it's not. It's for anybody who is part of this community. If you found value in anything that we do and say here, pull through. This is for you. Man, for the longest time, conversations around marriage, conferences, webinars, whatever it is, it was so exclusive for couples. And so we've decided never to take that approach. Why? Because we believe that marriage is not just for those who are married, but for everybody else who champions marriage or desires to be married. And so we're opening it up. If you found value in what we're doing, pull through to Beans and Bonds with cups from connections, because we want to drink coffee and make bonds with you, right? The link is below, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. All right, Beans and Bonds, see you there. Peace. You had a bit on your Instagram where you said in January, the most active shop is cash converters.
Oh, cash converters. Oh, bro.
Anyway, but you said Jan, cash converters is quite full. Feb, net florist, yeah. But you have a unique story. Your wife's birthday is on Valentine's, so you can't run away.
Yeah.
Speaking of finances now and having to look after them, do you get shot twice?
No.
Okay.
I am happy. I get shot once.
Yeah.
I probably strategically made it that day. Yeah, we might go out that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be it, bro.
Yeah. This is on camera.
There's no money. You see, I told you guys you must speak to your wife. She knows there's no money.
So she's not trying. She's not pulling stunts.
And in December, I got a new ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Like a brand new ring. So
yeah.
I told her this is standing us over for years.
Yeah. Was it your idea or her idea?
Nah. She needed one because she lost hers.
Okay.
And then I told her we didn't have money.
Yeah.
She must wait for February.
Yeah.
And then I just got it because I was always going to get it for her.
Yeah,
I just wanted it to be a surprise.
Sure.
So she was super surprised. It was dope.
That's dope, bro. What's the wildest gift you've gotten for her
Wildest?
on
I just get her nice things, bro.
Yeah.
Always, bro. Even since high school, just nice things.
Sure.
But she once got me a balaclava for my birthday.
Come on, no?
Yeah.
She was a prophet, bro. Prophetess.
Nah, that was
She was
messed
like,
up.
listen.
That was so messed up.
If nothing else works in life, you have potential.
I need the balaclava because my face is not scary at all.
They need comedians in prison, bro.
Oh man. Oh, that balaclava. I think I still have it.
That's crazy. That's wild, though.
Imagine.
Yeah.
They're like searching my house. They find a balaclava. They're like, okay. You haven't stolen it yet, but you're planning to. Let's go. Let's go.
We see you. Oh, that's fuck, bro. You've known her since high school?
Yeah.
Cool. What would you say the pros and cons for that are? Because a lot of us meet our wives after varsity, You dates, you do your stuff.
Sure.
By the time you meet your wife, you're like, there's no scale. She doesn't know all the skeletons here. I left them back in grade 7. So for you, what would you say? Knowing her that long, bro.
Yeah.
How has that benefited your marriage? When are some days where you're like, yes, I wish I already met this chick last year?
Man.
Like you know too much.
Nah, I think I'll start with pros. Pros is just knowing somebody for that long.
Yeah.
Like having a friendship and just bro. Somebody like I know their background.
Yeah.
They know my background. People weren't too unfamiliar with this person, which was great.
Sure.
Excuse me. And just man, just similar backgrounds has just helped so much in terms of grounding us.
Yeah.
And just also not being in a movie.
Yeah.
like we're very rational people about like where we are, who we are, the country we're in, the race we are, like so many things where it's like that helps a lot. You know? Cons. I mean, because I've known us for so long, it's not like we dated the whole time.
Sure.
The cons would probably be that dating other people in between. It's like without God intervening in general, you can't be together. Yeah. Because you've been with people in between. Yeah. Like why
both know it.
Yeah, and we both know it.
Yeah.
And why would you do that? Sure. You know, like why weren't you together the whole time? Sort of things. But that's a con in terms of just normal thinking. You know, but without God like repairing, like and just saying that these two people are new people in me. So but without that, that's definitely a con. And then it's something in terms of when the initial dating phase starts and whatever, like how do you not get like the fallacy of comparison?
Yes.
Because it's a fallacy. It's not real. Because it's sort of like your partner now or the person you're with now, everyone, because I'd say this to everyone who, if you've dated somebody else and you want to date somebody now, give the person the grace to not think about whatever person they've dated, because it's sort of like, or even comparing them to somebody you've dated.
Yes. Because
it's sort of like, that comparison is not fair.
No, bro.
And it's something where in life in general, everything you do in life, if it became a comparison factor thing, we do nothing.
Yeah, I know you do stuff, bro.
Yeah, it'd be like, last time I came here, I was robbed. Yeah. It's like, how can you not go to Sandridge now? Yeah. Sure. You need to go to Pick and Pay, but go to Pick and Pay. Like, it's you see. So it's like things like that where I think that stuff, it can cripple people, because it's just like, it becomes a thing of, you feel unsure of yourself, or why was this person with this person actually, man? What makes me think this person doesn't belong with that person?
Yeah.
You know? Michelle's ex-boyfriend, unfortunately, he passed.
Sheesh.
I think last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
this was the guy before you.
Yeah. Okay. And he was a dope guy, you know? And like, he had his problems in life and whatever. And there's this thing in me that Michelle knows, and she tells me more often than not that sometimes that thing needs to go away, because it's I have no problem with suffering.
Sure.
Per se. I don't know why that's funny.
It's the comic in you, bro. Let's suffer so that we can have material.
No, maybe, yeah. It's probably that. Because it's sort of like, because
he's gone now.
He's gone. I have no problem with suffering per se. It's sort of like, suffering will always, it's like, I've thought this since high school, it's always going to be there.
Sure.
It's going to come in different forms. Like
Sure.
people die around you, things happen around you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel like, like I'm meant to take on some of these blows.
Sure.
Like it's fine.
Yeah.
Others can't. I will. It's fine.
Here. Yeah.
It's not nice. I won't say
Sure.
like suffering is amazing. Like I feel
No,
giddy.
yeah.
No. It hurts. It's not nice. But it's something that it's sort of like I've realized that part of living is suffering. You know, I probably have a higher tolerance to like progress through suffering and just
good, bro.
Just like
Yeah.
going through the dirt, the grind. There's something about it that's like that's life.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So it's sort of like, so just to move it back, Michelle says I'm crazy because I especially when he passed,
Sure.
a part of me felt like, man, if this guy had Michelle in his life still, he's still be here.
Smack. Yeah.
Like, for lack of a better word, he deserves her more than me because
Sure.
he's probably gone through more and needs her more than me.
Sure.
So maybe, things like that.
That's crazy.
He would have still been here, or he would have lived a better life having somebody like Michelle around.
Sure.
And obviously that means that I suffer from not having her.
Sure.
So yes.
You're sacrificing yourself.
You see,
I could be sacrificial.
I could have like no one in my life. That's a wife. I wouldn't have a kid. I'll just be sad, but this guy would be happy.
Yeah.
So taking on that thing, and it's a weird thing because like. Because like when I really analyze it, I know that that's
crazy,
not how
man.
God intended things to be.
Yeah, sure.
Like this person was supposed to be my wife, and they are my wife, and like I'm super grateful for that, and I should just stay in that. But it's like there's that thing in me that's just like, bro.
Yeah, God.
Bro had a hard life, bro. Why you
Sure.
give this great person to
yeah.
But
That's crazy, bro. No wonder she says you must stop thinking about that.
Yeah, Douglas, he's just like, no, I'm here.
Oh, you don't want me now. No, it's not that I don't want you. I think you would have saved a life, right?
Exactly.
I'd rather be single if you.
If we have another life on you, cool, bro.
That's fuck. The thing you mentioned about you guys, knowing now the kind of people you are in Christ and how, Jesus obviously wipes your slate clean.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you did in the past, who you dated, where you ended up, man. By the time you in him, you're a new creation. Now you guys decide to get married. There's redemption that's happened for both of you. And so it kind of gives you fresh eyes to see each other.
Fresh eyes,
yeah. Did you guys have that chat? Because I asked because I'm like, man, I forgot who was it. I was doing something, and then they were like, "Oh, this person, there's a." So I'm doing a show. I'm doing a show at Kitcheners, and then a friend of mine is like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna come because I'm friends with your ex, and your ex heard that you're gonna be there performing, so she's not gonna come." And I'm like, I haven't seen that chick in like 100 years.
Sure.
Like, you still have beef,
Sure.
And then I had to be like, okay, it's okay. Like, I've moved on, this Jesus thing has happened to me. But man, like, I did leave a trail of broken souls, right?
Yes.
So I need to be understanding that person might still have beef with me, right? And so having to have that conversation with my wife, and then just both of us realizing, like, we think we each other's treasure, but to a bunch of humans out there, we are trash bags, bro.
Rubbish.
Yeah. Like you are in a pick it up. That's you, right?
That's
to
it.
somebody, you are in a dustbin. And yet I'm like, I look at my wife and I'm like, man, this is treasure, But it was sobering for us to have that chat and just be like, the other times when I think I'm better off single, I'm like, yeah, that's Satan speaking. Because I think you're so precious. You are treasure. This is Satan talking inside of me, right? Yeah. Because somebody objectively out there does think you trash, So anyway, did you guys have that chat? How was it?
I think when we started dating, we did, because I think it was, especially because we're friends and whatever.
Yeah.
just dating history and stuff like that, and just to be like,
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah, sure.
Like messed up with people and
Sure.
just, yeah, man. I think I think it's one of those things where speaking to the Lord first, I think we both sort of just like repented heavily first before even coming to each other, probably.
Sure.
Because it's like, bro, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't you don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like excuse me. Like from sexual relations or anything like that, and
Sure.
like you're so foolish and like so guided by the flesh that it's like it's numb. You're numb to whatever you're doing. This is normalcy to you. So it's like by the time you get to a point where you realize the gravity of what you've done,
Sure.
it's like it's sobering, because then you're like, oh my days, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, how did I mess up like this? Like, yo, these people don't deserve that. Because that's another thing. Because God works in a crazy, crazy way. Because it's like you could be doing the wrong thing with this person, but you still get to know parts of that person that are dope.
Yeah.
That are good.
Yeah. Sure.
They have God-given characteristics.
Yep.
Whether it's kindness or whatever. And it's like, man, this person deserves like a good thing.
And here you came.
You came here to go past like wind. And it's like, I think it was just sad. And we did speak to each other, and I think we had both come to the same conclusion that, what a travesty, man.
Sure.
What a travesty. Like, it's just sad. I think, man, it's just difficult. And I think you hope, because you don't view those people as trash now, because obviously, you get me, they could view you, but you're just hoping that Jesus moves in every single life.
Yeah, come on now.
To bring us to the same spot.
Yeah.
Like,
because,
man, it's unfortunate, because like, and you wish you could speak to young people in a way where they could understand like this damage that happens. It's like long standing if Jesus doesn't come in. And it has like this ripple effect where it affects so many other people.
Yeah.
It affects the way you perceive other people. It just has a way of like haunting relationships. And I'm even getting a bit like, it's not nice, man.
No.
It's just sad. And I think the value of like humans and interactions and relationships, it just gets sorted in a way where it's like you don't want that.
No.
Like you actually want genuine interactions with people, because it's like, let's say, because we live in a different world right now. Let's say you try and date someone in a good, faithful way, and it doesn't work out. Like, there has to be a version, a picture of that where it is in a good, faithful way, where both of you are like, well, nothing worked, and we actually didn't even do anything wrong.
Like we could.
Yes, we could. And
we can break up.
And we can look at God like, you know, like how it would be nice to see things looking like that. But right now the season we're in this world, it's just
the streets are streeting.
Yeah. Oh man.
It would be, man. You know, I'm like, because one, you either grow up, or two, you get married, or both happen. You know, you grow up and get married, and then you realize, like we were sold a lie and we bought into it. You know, we drank the Kool-Aid, man. Like, I didn't have to go through many people just so that I can find myself.
Sure.
Because I even lost that part of who I am, the guy that I am now in my marriage, even as, you know, like somebody who's mature. I'm totally different from the dude that I was, you know? So I didn't even find myself. Like, in fact, I just hurt myself, you know? I could have had a better life right now. You know, a friend of mine was saying, man, just be careful how much tax you pay in your 20s, in your teen years, you know? because the amount of tax that you pay, man, you're gonna suffer later, right? So just pay less tax, man, so that you live a comfortable old life in your 30s, right? But most of us be like, let's just play around, do stuff.
I know what to do. I can do like this,
bro. And you carry some of that stuff, bro. So I'm like, man, I would encourage a lot of dudes who are younger. Just chill, bro. Enjoy life. Get a PlayStation, dog. Get a PlayStation.
I told people that I nearly went to therapy.
Yeah.
But then I got a PlayStation. I realized everything's fine.
Yeah, you're fine. And you probably spent the same amount of money anyway.
Exactly, bro.
For all these sessions, I wasn't going to go to therapy.
And now I just have sessions with PlayStation. Just,
hey, we don't hate therapy.
Yeah, you're going to come for me. Yeah. But yeah, bro, I think it is one of those things that with younger men, it's like, even young girls, the young women as well, speaking to Michelle, and it's like, you don't spend time in your youth.
Sure.
Like doing youthful things.
Bro.
Like if you came to me at like 13 and you were like, hey, these girls, I'll be like, hey, bro, I'm playing soccer. I don't
just chill.
I'll just chill. We play Tony Hawk's after this. Yeah. Because it's like I knew I liked girls. I did, bro. Sure. But it's like to invest my time, energy like that. No, bro, I've got 30 minutes max to be like, I like you. Bye. But like now, like it's so hard for these kids now because it's like, they drink the Kool-Aid way earlier than we did.
It's crazy, bro.
It's wild.
Nah, it's wild, man. Yo, bro, how has your marriage shaped your comedy? I mean, you speak about your marriage.
That's one thing I have to speak about.
But how has being married made you a better comic?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'll be honest about it. I don't know yet because I'd say that it takes time for the jokes to come fully. Mm-hmm. So it's like my special now, it's still the stuff I'd been working on. Just has an extract on marriage and stuff like that and fatherhood. I think like it would take time for me. So probably if you ask me like 2-3 years, probably wouldn't need to ask me. It'd probably be a special that's like fully on that sort of experience. But obviously in more like straightforward terms, it's like, my set has to be catered around certain things. Mm-hmm. It has to be catered around my life as a father and a husband, because it's also like there's certain things now that I really can't do.
Sure.
I'm a father and a husband, so it's like I'm not gonna be at Conca smoking hub.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't want to do it. Like it's like now, because especially a father. Yeah. Like, there's certain things. Why does your father know hub flavors? It's like, you get me? So
arguing with you, buy the watermelon.
You see, exactly. Like, so your father must be smoking cigar lounges. You see, it moves. So things like that, man. Yeah. I tell jokes like that where like now there's like certain things that I can't do. But in shaping me to become a better comic, I think that's coming in the next special.
Sure.
And I think, it's like creatively.
Yeah.
There's a shift happening.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Sure.
But it will get there.
Yeah.
I know how stand-up works. It's gonna get there. But it's sort of like I can't rush it as well because my comedy is mostly based from like actual experiences. So I need to experience things.
Sure.
So it's like the seizure thing. To turn that into a joke was crazy. Yeah. Because how do I do that without the crowd getting to be like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
or your son watching this
years
later and he's like, this man.
You see, so I've managed to do that, and it was that's the sort of maneuvering that I have to do and just be smart. Cause I don't actually offend people.
No.
Because it's also like, how can I offend you by talking about what's happened to me?
To you,
like it actually happened.
Exactly,
so man, I think the season coming is gonna be where we'll see how it shapes me fully.
Yeah. So another thing I was getting to with that is with that thought, so you get insurance companies who assume that because you're married, you're more stable. So you're gonna try and drive like a decent human because you don't want to die. You have a child. You have a wife.
Sure.
You're probably going home on time after work. You're not stopping at the bar because you have a family.
Sure.
You're not out at Gonka on the weekends driving recklessly, possibly having drinking under the influence. So then they determine all of that, and then or based on that they determine their premiums.
Sure.
So and society kind of thinks like that as well. Like if you walk into a room and you say, I'm Linde, I'm a comic.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But once you say I'm a dad or I'm a husband, then it's like, okay. Listen, there's people in the world who trust this guy
to
lead them every day in the most intimate parts of their lives. Okay, so we can listen to this dude, right? So part of what I was thinking with that thought is, what the benefits you find in marriage, which is stability, which is having security in a family, which is exercising leadership, not just as a CEO at work or a managing director, but you exercising leadership 24/7, right? How have those things influenced how you show up on stage? You know what I mean? Like, has it made you move as a different comic?
Oh, sure. I think the marriage thing, marriage thing for sure. Because it's sort of like, I think the look now is like, okay, this guy is sure. Because sometimes I don't have my ring. I lose my ring a lot. So now I have to do things on not having my ring. Like saying, hey, whoever finds a ring and puts it on, congratulations, you inherited a wife. Like, so it's like that. But you're right about the perception thing. So it's sort of like, there's times where it's like, I'm a very chilled guy. So it's sort of like, this guy who's up here, who seems like so chilled, carefree, and semi-irresponsible. How do we balance him as being a husband? And then it's sort of like, you don't. My wife is the one who needs to balance.
Come on.
You guys need to understand that this is very true. I am very irresponsible with certain things. I do lose my ring quite often. Like, funny things do happen in that way. Because I think that's the thing. And so it's sort of like, I hear what you're saying. What happens is that, like, I have to curate more of what I say and how I say it to make sure that we're on the same path all the time. Because it's sort of like, even though I'm a father and, like, I'm a dad, I'm not necessarily telling dad jokes out there. Like, I'm still extremely cool. So it's sort of like, let's get you on this thing. Yes, I'm not a timer yet, bro. Like, let's get you guys on this thing to understand. But I think it's cool, man. It's also like, it's nice being a black man doing that, bro. A young black man. So it's sort of like, seeing some people balancing in their heads, like, we can do this, bro. This guy doesn't seem like he's in distress. This thing looks cool. This guy looks okay. So it's like, that's been the thing. I think also, especially on social media, though. Like the following is very cool because it's sort of like, it's both like men and women from like 25 to like 35 is probably where I'm reaching the most. And like early 20s as well. So it's like those people, they just see and they're like, because sometimes you wouldn't know I'm married. I'm just saying this stuff. Then out of nowhere, I'll say something about marriage. They're like, oh, this guy's cool and he's married, bro. What's going on? Bro.
Let's check that out.
That's the dope thing, bro. And just, I think, and also sometimes I think the biggest thing with the comedy thing is I'm hoping people, even the stuff online, I'm hoping people can see that there's something different about how I'm doing the thing or how I do the thing. Because then it has to be like, why is it different? Then if you do go in the bio, see the cross there, then you're like, okay.
I will see.
That's why. That's why this guy's not swearing. That's why this guy's not. So it's like,
so that's dope, bro.
That's also very important.
No, that's great, man. I think lastly for me, bro, I see there was one joke you did about not looking vendor.
Oh
yeah. Just tell us a bit about that, because your surname doesn't sound vendor, your name doesn't sound vendor.
The name's vendor.
Is it?
Yeah, so you guys Zulufy it.
Or we pronounce it.
You Zulufy it.
See, how do you pronounce it in vendor? I
So
see.
you guys unified. My surname is Ndebele.
Yes.
My mom is a Venda one.
Yes.
But yeah, I grew up with my mom's family.
Dope.
So it's sort of like they're in Venda. And
yeah,
bro. So it's like I speak Venda.
Yes.
You know, that's the people I relate to the most.
Yeah.
But the light skin thing has always been like just striking to people.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's always like what the, and it's not
but
to
you get a lot of light skinned vendor women.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do. But there's light skinned vendor men. But
no, there are.
vendor people when they hear, they're not like, oh,
yeah.
They're like, yeah.
Sure, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, bro.
Yeah.
Like you hear the name as well. They're like, yeah, they're fine with it.
Yeah,
it's mostly other tribes in South Africa.
Sure.
And then it is just like, yeah, the balancing of that and just making people like,
yes.
Yeah, because it's also like Limpopians are very unique people.
Yeah, no, you guys
We are the most unique people. And like, and my family is just, my family is just a melting pot, bro.
Sure.
So it's sort of like, I've got like Ndebele grandfather, and Ndebele from Zim. His wife is Tswana from Botswana.
Crazy.
So, and then on my mom's side, it's the Venda dad and like a semi-colored petty mother. Sure. So it's sort of like all these things end up creating me.
Yes.
So sometimes when people do be like, bro, we don't know where to place you. Because I've gotten Xhosa, I've gotten Zulu, I've gotten everything.
Yeah.
You get me? So
Except Venda.
Except Venda. So it's sort of like some guys said Somalian once. I was like,
yeah. Now
I was like, nothing wrong with the Somalis, man. But so it's sort of like, I understand the not being able to place me, but then man, I've got like family from all over.
Yes. Where I was going with that is how does that look like in your house? Because obviously Michelle is not Venda, not Ndebele.
Sure.
and you guys didn't grow up either in Venda or Ndebele.
Sure.
You grew up in Gauteng.
Yeah, she grew up all her life this side. At least was that side for quite a bit.
And then you came this side. So now you have to figure out what kind of culture you have in your household. Obviously, it's dictated by the Lord, but like...
Which helps.
Yeah. Bro, that thing takes half of the conversation.
Tremendous.
Done. We know what's dictating here. What's the standard? What's the agenda?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
Like, where does this end up?
Yeah. So, but in terms of what language you're gonna teach Eden,
I think
who are we when people ask us? Are we Venda? Are we Ndebele? Are we Sutu?
Yeah, I think he'll probably vibe more with the Venda part because even me at home with my parents, we speak Venda to each other.
Okay.
But yeah, we speak Venda to him now. Michelle is Sutu, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think he'll probably know all these languages.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very important. Just to navigate life, because it actually shouldn't be like that, but it is.
Sure.
Because it's sort of like people we should have more grace for each other. Because it's sort of like, why wouldn't we find a language that's common to communicate?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But I think he will learn Chivenda, he'll learn Sesotho as well. But yeah, more just to navigate life better. 1, 2. Also, like, just learn. Just to learn.
Yes,
because I don't believe anyone is better off kingdom-wise.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Where you can be better off social-wise, which is good, and to enable yourself to be resourceful, to speak to people and, understand people and be able to go somewhere and understand people. That is great. But yeah, I think the one thing that it's turned into, especially for Black people, that's probably not helpful is that it's sowed more like disunity amongst us, which it's been like, wait a minute, you're saying we are both Black.
Yeah.
And now you are viewing me different because I can't speak your language.
Sure.
Or I can't speak a native language, which is neither here nor there when it comes to this. There's a lot of things that go into it. That it's not tons. It's not just this simple thing. Yeah, they didn't want to teach them the language. There's a lot that goes into that. So it's like, those things so much disunity, because it's sort of like when we're that apart, it takes small things for somebody to bring up hatred, and also small things for people trying to trap each other.
Yeah.
That's how small it is. Just literally like, they don't speak our language. Okay, let's hit them. It's like, what? So yeah, man, I think more on and I think I'd want to teach him about that. Like, just the value of these languages isn't more than trying to redeem some sort of blackness in you. Nothing is ever going to make you not black.
Yeah.
No matter who tells you anything, nothing is never going to make you not black.
Sure.
Because I think with most things in life, which is where we fall short, we tend to not think about things historically. We think history, we think 600 years.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Think about it historically.
Sure.
What is language?
Come on, bro. Yeah.
How does this thing flow? Like, what does it mean if I'm Sutu and you Zulu, and then your tribe comes and ravages my tribe, and somehow you leave me alive and I come into your tribe? What language am I going to speak then?
Sure.
Zulu.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's sort of like, it's that simple for something to be broken.
Sure.
Lineage to be changed, things like that. So it's sort of like, what would it make you, because it's like, we think about the Tower of Babel, for instance, where God shows you that language is just this thing that He
changed quick, bro.
Like, so it's like, when we use it to like, not the same thing with money, when you don't use it as like a resource to edify and help.
Yeah, when you weaponize it.
There's the word. When you weaponize it, it becomes problematic, which I'm going to try teach him that, listen, bro, these things are good and they're nice, bro. And there's certain things in our languages that are expressive that you can't
find
they don't
in
have
English.
in English.
Yeah, sure.
English doesn't have English. You'll use 63 words to come to that one word we have.
Yeah.
You know? Sure. So it's like, these things are important. They're nice and they're good, but don't ever make them something they're not.
Sure, 100%.
Because I saw something on a podcast recently, man. Some Christian guy was commenting on a podcast. They had Nati, the singer.
Yes.
And he was saying to, I think David
Mashabela. Yeah.
He was saying that God doesn't listen to black people because we don't pray in our language.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro.
Here we go.
The person who gave us languages.
I think it's Nati who said that.
Yeah. The person who gave us languages isn't listening to us.
Sure.
Come on, guys. Come on. Do you know how much God loves us, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Do you know how much God loves us? Like the Bible says, God even hears unsaid prayers.
Unsaid prayers, bro.
Okay, those unsaid prayers, what language are they in? So it's like things like that. Like let's like look at the source of all this stuff.
Slow down.
Like where His love is and how it moves for people, bro.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Sure, that's dope, man. Bro, appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me.
You fed us now, bro. And thanks for, again, pulling through.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, every time I call, I hope you're not like, here's this crazy guy again.
Nah. we go to church together, so it's like, I would have just told you that, listen, Blaque, this podcast thing you're doing, bro. Love that you're having success with it, but not trying to be part of that. Chill. When are you guys having Tebza? That's who you need to have. Yeah, that's he'll probably tell you.
Look into this camera and tell
hey, Tebza, bro, when are you coming on the pod, bro? Hey, we're waiting for your knowledge, bro. This guy, Tebza, has 3 kids, bro. Yeah. That's a guy. You see me with 1.
And he's still alive.
Yeah, and me with 1, I'm speaking rubbish, bro. Yeah. I don't know the real. Tebza with 3 is the one who can like testify.
Yeah. That's crazy. Bro, appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks,
bro.
brother. Thanks, man. Thanks, Mish, for allowing you to pull through again, man. Shout outs to Eddie as well. This was dope. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you really found value from this. Please do follow Linde on all his social media. We'll put some handles somewhere here. But follow him.
You know what to do, bro.
Yeah. Please don't mess up the game, man.
Don't.
But he's
especially YouTube, guys. Hey, we're trying to grow a thing there, man. Yeah. Even if you don't like soccer, because it's mostly a soccer platform, just follow, bro. They don't know. Yeah. We need to get to 1,000 subscriibers, bro. 125, bro.
Come on.
If you guys don't do it, I know it's personal.
Let's do 900 by the end of this episode. 900 of you go subscribe. Let's just shock the algorithm, right? Let's just do it, right? Or do it just so that we can post about it. How's about that? That's the challenge.
The power of
yes, the power of That Husband podcast. Got Linde 900 subscribers. One go. Just go and just subscribe now. Take screenshot. Let us know, just so that we can be like, man, we did it, right? But man, yeah, hopefully you found some value in this thing, and it really empowers conversations that you're having with friends, with your spouse, with yourself. Right? How do we become better? This was really dope. So please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Notification bell so that you're updated on every single episode we drop every Wednesday at 11:30 from me and that team. We'll see you next week Wednesday. All right, peace.